Welcome to Kundalini Yoga, the yoga of awareness. Today we'll be practicing the Beej Seed Krya. It's our 6-week class, and I just want to say thanks for everyone who's shown up every week. It can be tough for some people to keep up with a practice like this. It can bring up a lot of things. So I just want to say thanks for your bravery and courage to be here. And we've got a couple new faces in class too. Thanks for being here. Got a good practice today. The Beej Seed. So a beej is like a seed mantra. I think it just means seed in Sanskrit. And it's kind of a vibration that carries a larger vibration within it, just like a seed. You know, what is a seed? But something that contains everything needed to grow into something full, right? The seed of a tree contains everything needed for an entire tree to grow, for that tree to produce another seed, and that seed will grow another tree. You know, seed is a big part of the chain of infinity, of life. And when we think about, the seed, all of that is contained has the potential to grow. What is surrounding it but a shell? A hard shell keeps that protected. It waits for the right conditions to allow for a seed to grow. It's like if you take an avocado seed and you try to plant it in Canada, conditions aren't going to be right, and that seed very well might not germinate, let alone grow to a tree. And with this Kriya, we can kind of see the theme of opening ourselves up as a seed, finding energetic pathways to push through the shells, the conditions that prevent us at any moment from expressing our infinite selves, for letting our seed of infinity grow. And there is a seed of infinity in every moment that we can tap into, And what does it mean for like a human to grow as a seed? When we were born into this world, like as babies, we were just pure and innocent. We acted from our intuition, our curiosity. But shortly into our lives, for most people, it starts becoming, no. No, don't touch that. No, don't climb on that. No this, no that, right? And all these no's, whether it's from our family or institutions, society, school, religion, anything like that. Our very fertile years, this can develop as an adult into a mind that says no to the things we still want to do, to that innocent, pure nature that we have within. This seed of innocence that wants to bloom. We may really feel compelled to just do something that's going to change our life, in a positive way, but the mind chatter says no. Or another condition that we've often dealt with is the yes. Do I have to go to church today? Yes. Do I have to give Uncle Jimmy a hug? He smells bad. Yes, you have to. He's your family. So it's all no's and yeses, The yeses, we often may find ourselves saying yes to things that we don't really want to do, that aren't healthy for us or good for us. What is our body saying? And how are we actually responding to the stimulus around us as it comes forward? So these conditions, these tell our shell, the conditions aren't stable for us to grow. Seed isn't ready to germinate. And maybe some people are saying, no, no. When they tell me no, I do the yes. I rebel against what they said. They say, don't do that, I did it. But even then, we're acting on an external condition. A rebellion is not something that's coming from intuition. It's coming as a sort of resentment to say, I don't like to be controlled, so this external thing wants to control me, and as a response, I'm going to do the opposite. But is that the guidance of our intuition? So often we go astray in life because we're responding to external stimulus rather than what comes through within. This could be just the direction of, I need to go to school, I need to get a job, career, have a house and a fence, and maybe you're miserable that whole time because you feel like you never really lived your life the way you should, So there's conditions in life that prevent our seed from growing. And really what it is, it's karma. Karma is effect. It's a cause and effect, Kriya, karma. And whenever the cause of our actions is coming from outside of us, our seed isn't blooming. We're caught in the storms, we're caught in environments that aren't giving us fertile soil to bloom. We're not tapping into our true intuition, and what would be ideal would be to be the effect of our actions being inspired from within. As we've talked in the past couple of weeks, we kind of have 3 brain centers in our body. The head brain, just here to measure the world around us, to say, is this matching where I need to be? And when we think what we need to be is what someone else told us to be, then we're going, oh yes, this is good for me, or that's bad for me. Yes, yes, no, no. But then we can find a lot of dissonance, and that self-talk can become almost violent for some people. Anxiety and depression. We're not living from our authentic selves, and we're seeing the world around us doesn't match where we want to be, and we're not changing anything. The talk can get pretty brutal for people. But then we have our heart brain, which is centered in our willpower and courage, and our gut brain, which is the source of our intuition. It's where that feeling comes from. That feeling that you just know what you ought to be doing, whether or not you follow with it. So in our gut, that's our sacral chakra area. So like with Kundalini yoga, as we go through these practices and we begin releasing tensions in our body, tensions are where we've stored energy, where we've said no or yes when we don't need to. When we participate in things that aren't healthy for us to any degree, our breath will tighten, our body will tighten, and we'll have tension. And the tension blocks the flow of energy that allows us to act naturally. So, like our root chakra, when there's a lot of tension there, we have a lot of stress and fear. The glands associated with the root chakra are the ones that produce cortisol. And that's why in almost all of our Kriyas, we do a lot of pelvic work, because we want to be able to not start from a place of stress. But the energy wants to flow up, flow back down. So say we get through the stress, well now we have, if there's tension in our sacral, is our intuition even loud enough to speak? Can we even hear our intuition? Or is there so much tension there that energy is not coming up as well? And say we clear up some of that sacral tension. Now it's got to go through the solar plexus, and this is where our diaphragm is at. This is a giant muscle that allows us to breathe through our whole body. And for most human beings, breathing is shallow. We just kind of breathe through the throat into the upper chest. This is why in Kundalini yoga, when we breathe as we move, we push the diaphragm and the belly out to expand it, hold the navel in, contract it. We're really trying to loosen that muscle up. Breath of fire practice really helps with the diaphragm. So when the energy gets stuck in your solar plexus from a tight diaphragm, well, we might have our intuition, but now it's getting stuck in this area that it's a very emotional center, it can be a very creative center. When we feel the intuitive notions, but then we feel too emotional to do anything about it. I don't know. We don't feel good about it. It's not coming through. That's why we work on the solar plexus. So we get through there. Now we have this creative fire of energy. And that energy's moving up, and if our heart, this is what we're really going to be working most on today, is our heart and our throat, this connection. And our heart is where we find courage, where we find the willpower. But also here we have our lungs. To be able to breathe fully, as Guru Singh would say, you've got to breathe to believe. So this energy might be coming up, but can we even believe in ourselves to do it? We believe that we have the willpower. The belief in ourselves is so important to carry out these intuitions, right? And that's where we get to the throat. And what is the throat chakra? Well, obviously, the voice, our ability to speak our truth. But in fact, it's also where we get the energy to take action in our lives. We've got our thyroid, our parathyroid. Every chakra is really associated with glands, and there's hormones that come out. So, at a scientific level, we're also learning to balance our hormonal activity in our body in a healthy way. But so in the throat, we get there. If that's tight, we're not actually going to be able to carry out the actions here. We might get really excited. I can do this. I've got the power. But then we fail to deliver. So the energy keeps moving up. So the third eye, the ajna, this is where our head brain is, and where we look out in the world and we make comparisons. What's happening out there, and where do I want to be? And when that's clear, the energy can flow up. We can start saying, okay, this is in alignment with my intuition. That feeling I have, I'm going to take an action. But is what's happening conducive for that action? So we start making measurements based on ourselves versus these conditions that have been set up for us through life. And then with our crown, when that opens up, we're able to receive the infinite possibilities at any moment to take the action that's needed to be taken, the inspiration to act from an original place versus where these conditions have led us. So we're really working on, in this Kriya and every Kriya, is breaking that shell open so that we can start to really germinate into our true selves, creating the conditions that are dependent on us rather than the world around us, so that anywhere we go, anything we do, we know what to do, and we can do it. And we can be inspired by the many options available to us at any moment. I always say whenever I hear people talking about conflicts they've had and someone said something really rude, it's like, there's a million ways to deliver any message, and they chose that. But so when we're able to really see all the options, our seed can really germinate. And there's other things that want to I was talking about being a child, but even now it's like, how many things in this world seem to need us? Look at the political landscape and media. It's like, we need your attention. We need you to focus on this. Even down to in our community, we may see people struggling, and it might not be our responsibility to help. But from the micro to the macro, there's all these forces saying, I need you, I need you, I need you. I need your energy. And these aren't conditions that are conducive for us either. We have to be whole in ourselves before we can give ourselves to anything else. So this, once again, Kundalini Yoga really centers ourselves in our own energy so that these kind of energy vampiric forces aren't pulling it from us and leaving us empty ourselves. And just a really good practice is just to sit with yourself. Say, I'm going to be me. I'm going to be me. To make that your mantra for the day. I'm going to be me. They might need me to be what they want me to be, but I need to be me first. And this can be tough for some people, and I know the pain. I've been through the transformation myself. It just takes a day at a time. So with all that, what we're going to do today is practice the Beej Seed Krya. And we're going to kind of emulate a seed opening in a lot of these postures. We're going to do a lot to expand our heart, expand our throat, expand our breath. So that's about the first half, and then we'll get down into kind of opening up our lower centers. And then we'll have a nice relaxation and a mantra meditation. And then we'll be all finished up with class. So we've got some new faces. I just wanted to run through real quick on just a couple of things we do in here. So as we're going through our Kriya, and we're going through these asanas, we want to just find our edge, our limit, and just not really push past that. This isn't about having to do or be the best, To really heal through Kundalini, it takes time and practice, and your edge will keep expanding with time, but we don't want to hurt ourselves in the process. So if something feels uncomfortable, you need to modify. We really just want to do the best we can and feel good about it. And I'll try to offer some modifications, especially on the more difficult poses in here, so that we can all be comfortable. So as this goes, we'll do an asana while we pose, and we'll perform that repeatedly for a few minutes. And then when I say, we'll inhale, and with that we want to apply what's called a root lock. So someone made a point last week, it's kind of like a Kegel, but we're contracting our lower body. So like pulling up on our perineum, tightening our lower body to keep the energy from flowing out and squeezing it upward. So at the end of each asana, we'll apply a root lock, inhale fully and hold our breath in until it starts to feel a little uncomfortable. Then we'll keep holding that lock as we exhale slowly. And you should start feeling energy really moving through your body. So we asana, and then we lock, hold the breath, and we rest for a minute. And as we perform our asanas, what's really important is that we move with our breath. So we really want to inhale and exhale completely. The goal is really to fill the whole body with oxygen, to break through any blocks that prevent the movement of oxygen. So we inhale in long, deep breathing, push the belly out, and that pulls the diaphragm down, kind of helps pull the lungs open, expand them fully, full breath. And it's a 3-stage breath we're looking for. Really focusing on pushing out here, and that will start to expand through the ribs. And you feel the breath coming up through the chest. And as we exhale, we want to push all the air out. So that's going to be pulling the navel in and upwards towards the spine. That's going to allow us to push all of our air out. And once again, just like with the movements, we don't want to try to force the breath. If it starts getting uncomfortable, just breathe through to there. And with practice, your breath will get deeper and deeper. Let's see. And then we also do another breath called breath of fire. And this is kind of like a dog panting with its tongue out, like except with our mouth closed, so through the nose. And what we want to focus on is really just the exhale. So as we exhale, we pull the navel in quickly, like it's snapping it in. And we'll feel an automatic inhale come from that. This is really going to loosen the diaphragm and do little micro pulls in our body, especially on our more minor muscles and tendons. So it's going to help really open up the finer areas that we don't really get to access. And we'll run through that again when we get to a breath of fire. And finally, most of these Kriyas, we want to be invited to have our eyes closed as we move, focusing on our third eye with our gaze. And we carry an internal mantra that helps us not have thoughts come in and out, so that our attention can really go into the body. And that mantra is Sat Nam. Sat meaning truth. Nam is name. And as we inhale, think Sat. Exhaling, thinking Nam. And really with that we're breathing. Truth is our identity. So with that, we can go ahead and get started with our practice. So first we will just come into a nice seated position, easy pose, or half lotus or lotus, our legs crossed. And let's just kind of expand our spines. Before we actually begin, we're going to tune in with a mantra. That mantra is Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. So Om, O-N-G. As we chant that, we'll press our tongue to the roof of our mouth. So it's not Om, it's Ang. That's actually going to bring some air and vibration to harmonize our head brain. From there we'll say Namo, like Namaste. Bow at our stomach. So Namo, we're vibrating and activating our gut brain, our intuition. Then Guru Dev, Guru, it's dark light, so light in the darkness. Dev means divine. And really, we're calling in our inner divine light, the Guru within ourselves, which starts in our heart. So Om, Namo, Guru Dev, and then one more time, Namo. So we'll chant this 3 times together. If it's uncomfortable for you to chant that, you're welcome to hum or just listen. But using your voice is tuned to your body. That's the most effective way to tune your body. This is the voice that you were given. So we can start with our tune in. So I'll rub our hands together, create a little electricity, connecting a loop to our heart through our arms. From here, we can press our thumbs into our sternum, either pushing the elbows out or if it's more comfortable to hug your ribs. We'll take in a complete breath, pushing the belly out. Inhaling deeply. Exhale completely, pulling the navel in. Inhaling completely one more time. And we chant Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Guru Dev Namo. Just rest for a moment. This energy, hands faced up on our knees. We'll begin our practice with Sufi circles. So in a seated position, we'll take our hands to our knees. If you can't sit in a full seat like this, really just want to move. We're moving from the hips mostly. So find a position that's comfortable from there. So as we inhale, pull the navel in, expand the navel, expand the breath in the belly. Inhaling forward, and then moving from the pelvis in a counterclockwise direction. Exhaling as we go back. Inhaling forward, exhaling backward, moving with the breath. Finding that alignment in the spine. Let's see. This is opening our pelvis, warming our spine. And we're inhaling, just thinking the mantra Sat. And exhaling Nam. Just imagine the pelvis is like a bowl of cookie dough, and our spine is a rubber spatula just scraping the dough out. Pushing the belly out as we inhale, letting the navel in as we exhale. Looking Sat, Nam. And on the next inhale forward, pause and just switch directions, going in a clockwise direction. one more minute. Really finding that movement beginning in the pelvic area. On your next inhale, align the spine and inhale fully, holding the breath in, applying a root lock, tension in the lower body, hold that tension as you hold the breath. Letting your gaze go to your third eye. Continue holding that lock as you let out a long exhale. Hold the breath, pulling your navel in. And relax the body. Breathe naturally. Just notice what may be happening, if there's any energies or tensions or anything moving in your body. From here, we'll be coming into our next posture. So staying in a seated position, bring our hands together at our heart center. And as we inhale, we're actually going to inhale and exhale with a mantra, Wahe. And this is really like just a really top level version of wow. The energy of wow and bliss that you can feel. So we'll inhale, go wa. We'll push our hands out to our sides. And then as we exhale hey. This is going to allow for great expansion of our lungs, bringing cooling air into our heart, through our throat. Just moving with your breath. See if you can't find extension through your palms. Relaxation as you move your palms back in. Still expanding our navel, our belly, pulling it in as we exhale. As you inhale Wa, really try to open your mouth, breaking through any jaw tension. You might feel that move through your neck. As we find this release, we're actually going to find alignment in our neck, our jaw. Which is often taken from us through looking at our phones or reading books, computers. On the next inhale, fully inhale with Wa, hold the breath. Tighten the lower body. Holding that lower tension, exhale completely. Relax. Slowly drift the arms, the hands down to your knees facing upward. Just rest here for a moment. We'll continue in our seated position. For our next asana, we're going to do some upper body twists using the same breath. So we'll extend our arms out in front of us at heart level. And as we rotate, we'll rotate, trying to move from the lower body, the lower spine, guiding the direction. Moving left, inhale Wa. Coming back right, exhaling Hey. Turning the head. Thirty seconds. Inhale forward, hold the breath, arms out, straighten the spine, hold that breath. Hold. When you feel complete, exhale, and relaxing. Just process that energy for a moment. the awareness settle into the body. As we work on this area of the body, we're really helping the C1, C2 vertebrae to allow us to really find faith and trust. And faith and trust, these aren't things like I trust you, but it's really more of a state of being where you trust in yourself, in the world around you, to fully act from your core being. Having faith in the universe to support you. We're born from our mother and father, they supported us for some time, but it's the universe, the earth, Mother Earth, that we need to believe in now. The C3 vertebra, C4, they really activate the nerve, which allows for the expansion of our breath. It's really important to be able to breathe fully. That's something else we're working on today. So with our next asana, we're going to do some pretty simple, just head twists. Gently turning left with a wah inhale. Once you start feeling a little tension, try not to go any further. We want to protect our necks. Very fragile. And then we'll turning to the right, exhale, hey. Push that navel out, push that belly out as you inhale. Expand the lungs. Pull the navel in. Let all that air out. Detoxifying our blood and our body. We perform these complete inhales and exhales. Inhale forward, hold the breath. Extend the spine, lock in the root. And exhale, pulling the navel in and up. Just rest for a moment. One thing you may notice is go through this Kriya, especially if it's one that you choose to do repeatedly as a practice, how intimately connected our throats and our shoulders are to our pelvis and hips. Finding that tension up here may reflect down here and vice versa. So with our next asana, we're going to switch our positions up and come into a seated position with our legs extended. We're going to do it's called a life nerve stretch. The life nerve runs It's actually also called a kidney channel in acupuncture. It runs down to our feet, through our pinky, up our leg, both legs, our hips, through our shoulders into our neck. So this asana is really going to work on stretching through that nerve, allowing for mobility, releasing tension through the whole body. And you may just know this as forward folds. But what we're going to do is we inhale up, inhale walk, and exhale and hey. It's really going to allow us to bend forward. And as we move, really focus on moving from the heart, lifting up with the heart, folding forward with the heart. Thirty more seconds. Really want to try to ground the whole leg into the ground. Thighs, calves, and your heels. Feeling that upward momentum through your body as you lift. All right, one more. Inhale up, walk. Hold the breath. Lift with the pink, or lift with your fingers. Holding the breath in. Just exhale. Bring your hands down to the thighs. Noticing any tension, bringing relaxation. And when you're ready, just come back into a seated position. All right, this one, somewhat similar to our first one. This time we're gonna start arms crossed, nice hug. Get some love. And we'll inhale, walk. As we exhale, this time we're gonna exhale through our nose. And every time we come in, we wanna switch which arm is on top. So right and then left. next inhale, just hold the breath. Push the palms out. Straighten the spine, hold. And release. Exhale. Let the hands drift to your knees, facing up. Just experience your experience. A little known fact about clapping is that clapping actually activates our memory mechanism. Clap after a performance helps embed that into your memory. And this is because, our hands are full of nerve endings. In the womb, our hands grow from our head, where our brain is. And when these nerves collide, they send electrical pulses through the body. This is why our mudras are very effective. They show up in brain scans, activating different parts of the brain. So what we're going to do here is kind of put into memory this breath, this practice, by doing a wahe clap asana. So, wa to open, and hey. You got it. Inhale, hold. Push the belly out. Extend through your fingertips. Your scalp, every inch of your body, expanding. And exhale. Through the navel, pushing the breath out. Resting. All right, our next asana, we're going to be using the breath of fire. just do a little quick practice before we get started, in case anyone's not done the breath of fire. So stick our tongue out and just breathe like you're a panting dog. Really pulling the navel in and letting the stomach come back out on its own. So now let's try it again with the mouth closed. Same momentum, but through the nose. Kind of like your bellows igniting fire. Go at your own pace, go at what's comfortable. Once you've been pretty practiced, and more comfortable in the diaphragm, we really want to try to get to 3 breaths a minute as we do a breath of fire. But there's no pressure, no stress to do so today. Just a nice goal to set your eyes on. Yeah.
Second.
A second, sorry. Not a minute. That's my other part. It's my alternate nose. 3 in a minute. All right, so what we're going to do is called a bear grip. So left palm facing out, right palm facing in. Grip our fingers together and give a nice pull. It doesn't have to be like you're trying to stretch your arms apart. Just a couple, 5-10 pounds of pressure. Nothing uncomfortable. Hands around the heart center. Lift up with your spine from your crown. And we'll begin the breath of fire for 1.5 minutes. See if you can't pull your shoulder blades back a bit. If you lose that pressure, just let your attention go to it and apply the pressure again. Just breathing at your own rate, what's comfortable for you. Meeting your own conditions, not those around you. Keep that pressure on. We got about 25 more seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale and hold. Now, maintain the grip. Bring your arms, your hands over your head. Keep holding. Keeping the grip. Exhale. Keeping the hands up. Exhale completely. Hold the breath out. Bring your hands down to heart again. Inhale completely. Hold. And exhale. Let your arms rest. And from here, come back into our life nerve stretch. This time more relaxed. If you can reach your toes, hold your big toe with 2 fingers and a thumb. If you can't reach there, just go as far as you can. It's comfortable. Whether that's your knees, your shins, your thighs. We're just going to rest here for a minute. Some long, deep breaths. Really pushing that navel out, inhaling as deeply as you can. Slowly pulling the navel in to exhale completely. All right, inhale up, just pause and hold for a moment. And exhale. From here, we'll lean back onto our elbows, legs extended. What we're going to do is lift up onto our elbows, or if we need to, just put your hands down and be on your forearms. Lift from the heels to a platform. And we're going to do the breath of fire for a minute. If it's difficult, you can always just drop down and rest. And just find what's most comfortable for you. Is everyone ready? You're born ready? Is that what I heard? Alright, we'll begin in 3, 2, 1. Lift. Extend through the head. Tighten the legs, squeeze the legs, and breath of fire. The more you distribute the pressure through the body, the easier it is to hold yourself up. Ten seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale and hold. Hold the posture as long as you can. And exhale and relax. Just come lie on your back. So we spent the first half of our practice really opening up our chest, our heart, our throat. Now we're working on expanding these lower areas and moving that energy that's there upward. So when you're ready, you bring your knees to your chest. Just rock back and forth a bit on the spine. Maybe gathering some momentum to come to a seated position. From here, come up onto our knees. If this exercise is tough on your hips or anything, you can stay in seated position and do spinal flexes, which is dipping back, Coming up to the heart. This. And there's a couple different alterations because this one can be tough for some people. I know it was for me. I did this Kriya for 40 days and it was a little tough for me at first. So you sit in what's called rock pose, so knees bent, sitting on our heels. Our hands on our knees extended. As we inhale, Wa, we're going to lift from the pelvis, bringing the arms back towards the heels, lifting with the chest. Head, and lift out. If it's tough to lean back all the way like that, put your hands on your hips. Lean from there. Or if you need to, just come up. So it could be some fragile areas depending on your body. Just find what works best for you. There's no need to try to go all the way if it's not something comfortable. We're just going to do this for a minute. So we'll do inhaling Wa, exhaling Hey. One more. Inhale and hold. Exhale. Just rest here. From here, we'll come lying down on our bellies. So what we're going to do is, I need to charge my microphone for next week. We're going to do a boat pose. So we're going to extend our hands forward. Sorry, this is not a traditional boat pose, it's a flowing boat pose. Point your toes, extend your legs, extend your arms, your forehead on the mat. As we inhale, lift the legs and the arms and the head with Wa. Breathing out through the nose. I'm sorry, breathing out Hey. This one. So for 1 minute, we begin. Lifting. Halfway there. One more. And inhale, hold. Extending the toes, the fingers, the head. And exhale, become relaxing. Turn your head to one side. For our next asana, we'll come up onto our hands and knees, our thighs, into pigeon pose. If it's difficult to cross your leg over, you can just leave your legs extended out. We'll start with the right leg. Bring the knee up to the hand, crossing over the body. Bring your left leg back. Last week we went onto our forearms. This time we'll be on our hands. You can even bring your hands up onto your leg. You really want to lift with the body. And we're going to inhale Wa and exhale through the nose. As you exhale, really try to relax the hips. Inhale, lifting with the heart, hold the breath. And release. Just come relaxing in Guru Pranam. So it's child's pose with our arms extended in a prayer. Here we can just come back up into our hands and knees. We'll do pigeon pose with the other leg. Inhaling Wa. Lifting with the heart, pushing the belly out. Exhaling through the nose, pulling the navel in. All right, inhale, hold, lift the chest, and release. Exhale, and just come back into our Guru Pranam. All right, for our final asana, we'll come standing up in a horse stance. Really want to do a wide horse stance, so like you're mounting a horse, your feet about 45-degree angle, nice bend at the legs, bringing the hips down, sinking in. Bring our hands into a Venus grip, so just interlacing the fingers and thumb at the heart. We'll inhale through the nose and we'll exhale wide. Just continue that for about 90 seconds. Inhaling, pushing the belly out. Fifteen seconds. Inhale and hold. Exhale. Just release into a nice forward fold and let your body dangle. Straighten the legs. Just go lay down for relaxation for a few minutes. Laying on our backs. Finding some relaxation as you follow the breath through the body. Tracing the breath down, mouth and your nose, throat, through your heart, your lungs, continuing down through your diaphragm, your guts, to your roots. Exhaling and following back up. With every breath, just finding more relaxation and more ease. Loosening the jaw, relaxing the tongue, the throat, the heart. Letting your navel sink. Releasing any tension in your hips and your pelvis, the tightness, your legs, just let them start to melt into the ground. Breathing deeply, slowly. Alright, let's slowly bring our awareness back into our bodies. Maybe a little gentle movements. So the fingers and toes. The wrists, the ankles, maybe some rotations one way and the other. Rubbing our palms of our hands together and the soles of our feet. Go ahead and do a nice full body stretch, our hands over our heads. Toes pointed, fingers extended, and switching, extending the heels, the palms. Stretching through the front and back bodies. Do a nice cat stretch left and right, bringing a knee up, twisting it over the body to the other side. Stretching the back and the twist, twisting to the other side. And with the other leg. Bringing the knees to the chest, rock back and forth, from the head to the base of the spine, our backs. Come up into a seated position. We'll do our meditation. Alright, so for this meditation, it's called the white hole, black hole polarity. And what we're doing is we're going to recite 5 seed mantras in a row that activate from the crown to our third eye, the throat, the heart, and the gut. So we're bringing the infinite into this finite existence, allowing for our infinite light to shine. And the mantras, Om, classic Om, and then Om, just like in our tune in Om. Then Brahm, Brahman. Then Hum, and then Namo. Om, Om, Brahm, Hum, Namo. Let's do that with one breath. Inhale, do another breath. And we'll also do a mudra. It's a cradled say mudra. So the right hand, fold your thumb over to your Mercury mound. So right under your pinky finger, there's a little mound. Try to meet your thumb there. And wrap your other fingers around. It's the right hand. And the left hand, just give that hand a nice hug. With your thumb folded over your other thumb. And we will hold this at our navel. And if you'd like, we can do a quick practice of the mantra. So it's Om, Om, Brahm, Hum, Namo. So let's inhale deep. One breath. Om, Om, Brahm, Hum, Namo. Everyone good? Or we want to practice again? So let's inhale completely. Fill the lung with air, pushing the navel out. Exhale completely, pulling the navel in. Inhaling fully, the breath of full air. We'll begin. Om Brahm Namo. Inhale. Om Brahm Once more. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Sit in your experience for a moment. May the long times shine upon you. May all love surround you. In the pure light within you. Guide your way on. Bring your hands together in heart center. We'll end the class with 3 long sat nams. So a long sat, ending with a short nam. Sat nam. Let's inhale together fully. Push all the breath out. Fill the lungs. We'll begin. Thank you. Thank you for your presence and your practice. May you be blessed this moment, this day, this life. Sat Nam forever. Circle up real quick.